Gary was on the phone with the band's booking agent, Ruth Sally. "Lightning fingers, fastest guitar in the West," was her comment. "Who are you talking about?" Ruth venturing a name, Roy Clark, but it still didn't register with the musician until she mentioned a song title, a current caption on all the jukeboxes, "The Tips of My Fingers." Yes, he was familiar with the song, and yes, the Untouchables were available to back Roy Clark for his performance at the Bamboo Club in Enid. Gary having concluded long ago, never say no to opportunity, especially from an agent. The Bamboo Club was no stranger, the Sally agency having booked other bands on prior occasions at the club. In reality, it resembled a large barn with a stage and dance floor, rather than a private club, its demeanor essentially exhaling country music. A typical weekend night finding a nominal cover charge instilled at the door, the patronage bringing their own indulgence, purchasing the accompaniments, soft drinks, water, and the always invariable bucket of ice. The amenities and decor was non-existent, but what it lacked was overshadowed by the hospitality and flavor of the local Oklahoma residents in attendance. It never failed to amaze Gary of the perplexity of the band's drummer Glenn, and his insatiable affinity for Cadillac limousines, trading his '52 limo for a wraparound windshield 1954 model. The Enid excursion to the Bamboo Club found Gary and Jerry with Glenn, piloting the limo north on Highway 81 through the oil-baron towns of Okarche and Kingfisher. On the horizon, Hennessy emitting an ever-present glow from the refinery gas burn-off, and the numerous wildcat oil rig companies encrusting both sides of the roadway, Enid being the next stop. The three disembarking at the club, the posters advancing the appearance of Roy Clark donning the club's entrance, saxophone, and clarinetist Larry already present. The band having just finished setting up when they were joined by the reason for their appearance, Roy Clark. The congeal star introducing himself, setting up his amp and guitar, then eating a bottle of scotch on table in front of the 4-foot-high stage. Gary asking as to what degree the band should have in his show, discovering Roy's songs for the show were pretty much country standards, and all that was needed was for him to give the key they were played in. The band taking the stage, Gary's first annotation to Jerry during their first song was, "The crowd knows who Roy Clark is," both observing the ever-increasing number in the audience. As more and more arrived, the club filling rapidly. Roy was scheduled to perform 2 shows, the first at 10:30, the second at 12. The entertainer at the front stage table was continually occupied by a parade of fans wanting to visit and seek autographs. From his position on the bandstand, the pianist recognized a possible problem, as several ladies, leaving their male companion, continued to advance on the celebrity. Roy, seated directly below Gary, was aware of the situation, motioning to get his attention. Gary responding, Roy having a request, asking if he could join the band on stage as a sit-in rhythm guitar player until his scheduled show time, asserting that some of the ladies had escorts, and he would feel more secure on stage with the band. Showtime. Roy Clark stepping forward to center stage, addressing the applauded crowd, his first words being an acknowledgement of Oklahoma and its citizenry, then showcasing his fast-as-lightning reputation with the guitar. His presentation continuing, highlighting his vocal artistry with his current hit, "The Tips of My Fingers." Gary very much impressed with the laid-back professional, and his sitting in with the band was something to be remembered. With the conclusion of Roy's 12 o'clock show, Gary inquiring about Roy's transportation back to Oklahoma City, finding that he had flown from Los Angeles, rented a car, and would be returning to LA in the morning. Gary making it a point to thank Roy for the opportunity to work with him, but it was Roy who was the appreciative one, thanking the band. On the way home, the three agreed that working with Roy was an enlightening experience. The character of his person, his showmanship, and amazing guitar dexterity leaving a lasting impression. The pianist having a lingering question that remained unanswered: why would a relatively unknown booking agent fly a relatively unknown artist to perform at a relatively unknown club, backed by a relatively unknown band? Gary having already answered his own question earlier. Never say no to opportunity.